What's going on, you guys? I got another insightful video. I know a lot of people are could be in college that could be watching this video. They could be taking pre-med courses to business courses to whatever, right? To there could be a political science major. I don't know, right? But I'm gonna give you ideas for how I studied in college and how I succeeded in college. I studied at Stetson University. It was a very rigorous program for specifically molecular biology. I studied, um, and these are the things that helped me succeed. So, for myself, I don't learn well in a lecture hall. Typically, for most classes, I do not learn well. So, I would normally talk to the professor like the first week, and I said, I don't typically learn really like learn well in the lecture. I don't normally attend them. If they did take attendance and it was part of the grade, I explained that to them. It was a bet. It was if I do have to show up to a lecture, I wouldn't be necessarily listening. I'd be doing something else because it when I've ever people around me or if someone's trying to tell me something, they're trying to explain it to me, hand feed it to me. I never got it. I never understood what somebody was saying when they tried to hand feed it to me. I always had to figure it out on my own. That's one thing that I learned about myself. I always had to figure it out on my own. So, for example, if it was a 50-minute lecture and it was either 50 minutes of me in the classroom or 50 minutes for me in the library, it would be better spent in the library for me to focus on getting more things done. I would actively be able to remember things if I was going to do it that way. Okay, so that's for me. Some people learn better when they're being told what to do. They're getting direct instruction. I for hands-on things, I need direct instruction. However, learning concepts or material, I learn better on my own at first. In addition, I turned off my phone every time I was going to be actively listening. So I'd have my Apple Watch and I would do 50 minutes um, on the Apple Watch, and then I would turn off my phone and go at it for 50 minutes. And when it went off, then I took a 10-minute break, right? Did that throughout the day. Um, and that really helped me get a lot of things done, a lot of material, um, anything. Also, how I studied is different than how most people will study. Specifically for me, I learn best most of the time reading the book. Reading the book and taking notes, handwritten notes or typing notes. I have a Mac now. I take pictures of diagrams. I put it on a Notability or a Word doc, and then I would, review that information, the next day, a day or so later, something like that, whatever material it was, right? Um, and reread the notes before the exam, 2 nights before the exam. Try to hunker it down, right? It's how I did it. In addition, now that I've studied for some other courses with Anki and Notability, I would use those. Those are very good apps. Anki is a good app. Spaced repetition. You can put diagrams, pictures. I think it's great. I think it's a good app. Notability, same thing. It helps you customize your material well if you like to write it. I specifically didn't like to write notes, but I think it's good still. You can write diagrams and whatnot. Um, Last but not least, use use study groups. No more than 2 to 3 or 3 kids, 3 to 4. So it should be no more than 3 to 4. 4 is getting too much, right? You can bounce ideas off one another, and that's really good for learning material. I would do that all those. So I would recap. I didn't go to lecture. I studied on my own at first, and then I would study with others later to make sure I understood the information. I reread my book notes. I would use Anki and Notability. And that's it, you guys. Have a great day, all right?